How's it going, everybody? Merry Christmas. You want to see what Christmas looks like in New Mexico? It's pretty sweet, huh? T-shirt weather. So, I've got a little bit of time. You may have seen this John Deere floating around in the background of some of my videos. So this is a 90s model John Deere 6675. A little 4-cylinder diesel. And it had a knock on it. Let's see if this thing has any information. Production number, yeah, 6675 skid steer. I don't know what year it is, though. I think it's a 96, if I'm not mistaken. So, bought this thing with a knock on it, and thought it was going to be like a flex plate or something like that. I don't even know if these things have flex plates, but we brought the engine in. Let's go find it. Tore it down. So this is I think this is similar to a Yanmar. I can't remember what else this shared parts with. Pretty sure it was Yanmar. So yeah, these are 4TNE84. So it ended up breaking the oil pickup tube. Broke that off. I actually remember seeing let's see. I remember seeing the other piece to that, but so broke the oil pickup tube off. Starved it for oil and ended up ruining the back two mains. So it actually ate into the block bad enough that the two main bearings fell out. And, you know, this thing was just knocking real bad. Ate up the crankshaft real bad. So these two mains are completely under. This rod was completely under. There was a few other mains that were starting to get chewed up, but all of these had bearings on them. These lost their bearings. And, you know, this had a bunch of play in the back. So John Deere wanted some crazy amount, like $3,800 something for just the block, $1,600 for the crank, $280 per rod. There was going to be a lot of money. They wanted like $12,000 to rebuild this thing. So I sent it off to the machine shop, and the original plan, we came with a few different plans to save this block. So one is the obvious line bore, where you cut the block a little bit, cut the caps a little bit, and then rebore it. But you got to be careful because you've got gears that mesh here between the cam, the crank, I think that's an idler there, and the injection pump, where the hell it goes. There's gear to gear. It's not chained, so you only have so much clearance. If you lower this, you're getting closer to these two gears here, and then you cause problems. So you can't machine the block too much. The other thing we were thinking, the old school thing is you used to put a feeler gauge in here underneath the cap to close up the tolerances. And then the problem with that is the mains are actually separate. I think they're in here, yeah. Are separate thrust washers. So there's nothing that would hold those in there. I mean, you could tack them in or whatever like that, but my friend is a really good machinist. I was actually just going to have him build main bearings out of aluminum for these back two mains. I was going to have him build custom main bearings. So he gave me back some of these bearings, but I guess what he ended up doing is just cutting the cap and then reboring the cap down so it doesn't change the tolerance on the gears up front. So yeah, we basically just ended up cutting the caps on the back two, cutting cutting the face of the cap, cutting the caps out, re-honing this and everything, re-line boring this, and everything lined up. So I'm going to start going together with it. So that wasn't too bad. Saved the block. Ended up buying a crankshaft. Let me open this without showing my shipping tag. Ended up buying a crankshaft. Let me look. Out of Hong Kong. Out of China, right? Yeah. So out of China, these are some recast thing. Looks pretty good quality. Everything mics out perfect on it. So other than that, I got to start cleaning up parts. So I got a little bit of time, about a week off, where nobody will bother me and I can start putting this thing together. And seeing how it's going. So you can see all the crud that was in the bottom of the oil pan. A lot of, that's main bearing material, stuff like that. There's a lot of, let's see, rods. You can tell that rod was super hot. Grinding away. I bought 2 new rods in here somewhere. I think that's them. Not sure. Let's see. Oh, I bought 2 used rods that were in good condition. So I got to go through, change these bushings, and get those lined out, start cleaning everything up. Cam was in good shape. I got to go make sure and still inspect it, see if it's going to be good. Throw everything into my vat, get it cleaned up. And I looked all over for parts. So I was trying to save money, keep the costs down. And believe it or not, my local dealer was actually the best price on parts. So there's one receipt here. I don't know where all of them are. So I've got the rod bushings I'm going to change out. Main piston rings. I'm going to go and stick with the pistons that came out of it. There wasn't a lot of hours on this, so there's some bearings, $39 a piece. Piston rings, $189 for 3 of them. Yeah, so a set of 3. I have 4. I ended up getting another set on another receipt. So 2 sets of gaskets, a lower end and upper end gasket set. Main bearings, a new pickup tube, even though that's wrong. I got to go find the right pickup tube. And let's see. You can kind of see. So he went through, cut those. Still got to check all his clearances, but I trust him. He's pretty good at that stuff. And then as for cylinders, like I said, they weren't bad. I went through and there's no lip or anything like that. I went through and honed them. And then I got to go through and clean up pistons. So I'm going to reuse the pistons. I'll mic them out and everything. I'm sure they'll be fine. There's one in here. You can see where the valve was just starting to touch that guy there. So think it'll be savable. So yeah, I just want to give you guys a little bit of video on that one. I think that's about it. I'm going to try to get the short block together this weekend. This thing did run. It did start. All the hydraulics were good. It just knocked like crazy. So I basically tore it apart, seeing if it was worth fixing. Unfortunately, I tore it apart a long time ago, so I got it's kind of a basket case now. So I'm going to get the lower end together so I can start remembering where some of this stuff goes and eventually get the skid steer together. And I think I'm about $1,200 into parts and machine work. Can't remember if that includes the crank. I paid about $300 for this crank. About $1,000 for the skid steer. So, and lots of labor. But skid steers are real expensive these days. They're going up in price. Even the old used stuff is still 10, 15 grand for pretty old stuff. So this motor will be refreshed. I know it'll last a long time. And then the only thing I'll have to worry about is injection pump and hydraulic pumps, and probably end up having to get a new set of tires on it. I'll get all new filters and go through and clean everything up, and it should be a damn reliable skid steer. So every once in a while I go slow on projects. I'll give you guys an update on this one and let you know how it all turns out. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Well, here's an update about 30 minutes after the last video, so that ended quickly. I think in the last video I mentioned that this oil pickup tube was wrong height. I noticed that right away, so not a big deal. I still thought I can get a little ways. So this oil pickup tube is about 2.5 inches. Oh, I got light on this thing. Anyways, it's about 2.5 inches off of this bed plate here. And the old one, I did find the old piece, so this is what made the engine fail. It broke right out the weld. So if you put this one up, it's quite a bit taller, and it's 4 5/8. So just in case, let's see, part number. Let me grab this real quick. That's the part number on the new one that's wrong, just in case you're looking for a shorter one. So it would work, it's just for a shorter, shallower pan or something like that. So the pan is about a little over it's like 4 3/4 deep. So it's all like 4 5/8 to these ridges. So I'm guessing that pickup screen sits right on top of these ridges and gets oil right in through this groove and around and everything. So that was one thing, not a big deal. I already knew, I kind of caught that one pretty quick. But we have a few other parts that kind of stopped me right in my tracks. Do a little bit more prep work and call it a day. So we have galley holes and a grooved bearing for each main. So a hole on that one. There's 2 holes on these. Those galleys go down to oil the camshaft. Unfortunately, they gave me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cap mains, the bearings for the cap. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they put 2 top bearings inside of the package. So I got to go see if they'll exchange those out. Still a little bit of work I could do here and there. And then I actually ended up finding the other receipt. So these are all the parts. So we've got gasket kits, bearings, strainer, gaskets, bearings, freight for all that. So for everything here was $802.76 plus another, call it $250. Yep, almost exactly. So $1,000 for the rebuild kit. 300, right? Yeah, $350 for the crank. And $800 for the machine work. So, what, 20? Let me make sure I'm not getting all screwed up. $2,100 so far. And then I did all the disassembly, the vatting, and I will resize the rods, put the bushings in, hang the pistons, assemble it, and I did the honing myself. Actually, I have a straight sun-in hone, so I didn't ball hone it. I've got a really good commercial hone for that. So not bad so far. We'll see what else I need. Obviously, fluids and stuff like that. Yeah, so $2,100, and we'll see what else I end up with. Leaving the head, I vacuum checked the head. Everything's sealed there. There's no seat issues. The valves aren't sunken. The deck to valve recess is all within spec. I will have to check the deck to piston clearance, make sure that ended up good, and I'll have to check the clearance from gear to gear to make sure that we didn't change any of that. But I don't expect any of that to be wrong. So now wait for John Deere to open up and hopefully go get my parts. It took a long time to get the parts in for this stuff. So yeah, I guess if I want to, I can plastigauge. I could actually probably go through and plastigauge all the bearings and just switch them around. Drop the crank in, plastigauge the first 4, switch the bearings to another one, plastigauge those. So get a little bit more done this weekend, and we'll see how it goes. See you guys next time.